My amplified unit. Check. 1, 2, 3, BC live. Live, BC. The amplified man in the fucking house. Can you hear me? Playback sounds good on my end. Let me know. Let me know if I start blowing out a mic. I'll cut the stream and then I'll just make a regular video and put it out to you guys because I got a lot to say. And I ain't too fucking happy about it. Where do I begin in this cold open? Where do I begin? Because if you think I'm going to be another podcaster in this community that just lets this slide because it's Triple H, if you think I'm just going to let this fucking walk, you don't know who the fuck you dealing with. Welcome to the Amplified channel. I'm going to hold everybody to the same accountability that I would a VKM. It's been long enough to produce coherent storylines, coherent segments, coherent shows that make sense. It doesn't take Triple H more than a fucking week to put together shows that make sense. Where do I begin? Where do I begin? By sipping a lot of fucking coffee, that's where. So, let's start from the beginning. We all know that Austin Theory was not going to cash in on Roman Reigns, correct? I believe we all know that he was never going to cash in on Roman Reigns. That's fine. That's fine. A mulligan was made in advance when they put the Money in the Bank briefcase on somebody and they didn't have a plan. Not the first time they've done this. They did it with Otis and many others. So then you say, okay, well, now we have to get creative. We have to find a way that he's going to fail this cash-in, and several things are going to happen. The fans are going to be entertained. We're going to enjoy it, and just as important, it's going to make sense. Just as important, Austin Theory will not be put into a pit of embarrassment, right? You do this the right way, or Austin Theory doesn't have this as a highlight reel or talked about the rest of his career. And thirdly, and just as important, you do it in a way that's going to keep the prestige for Money in the Bank. It's fairly simple. It's a lot of ingredients, but you just get creative. I mean, you're a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate company. This is what Triple H gets paid the big bucks for. And what they did last night. What they did last night was they put Austin Theory out there during an open challenge. An open challenge, which you just have to say, I accept. When Austin went down there, no bell had rang. Nobody was starting them. He just had to say, I accept. Rollins was already beat up anyway. That's right, I said Rollins. They had Austin Theory go out there during an open challenge and cash in for the mid-card United States Championship. I'm not fucking around with you if you did not see this show. They had Austin Theory cash in on the mid-card U.S. title during an open challenge, and he still failed the cash-in. This is what happened to end the show. This is what happened to end the show. And a big part of the community is okay with it because it's Triple H. And it takes time, basically. It's Triple H, guys. This is what I'm being told. Everybody relax. H will have a plan. I'm told this was a reset, basically. Basically, it's a hard reset, man. It's a reset. What the fuck? He's not a microwave. What do you mean it's a reset? He's not a kitchen appliance. Daylight savings time. We went around the house this weekend and we set back all the clocks, right? We reset the clocks. We didn't reset Austin Theory. We didn't go around the house going, this clock is reset, this clock is reset, this clock is reset, Austin Theory is reset. No, he's not a fucking kitchen appliance. He doesn't need a reset at all. Basically, he needed a character change. He wasn't connecting, basically. What the fuck do you mean he needs a character change? First of all, 90+% of that roster doesn't have a character that connects. Ricochet doesn't connect. Ali doesn't connect. Anderson doesn't connect. You could go down the fucking line. A Drew Gulak doesn't connect. A Cedric doesn't connect. A Benjamin doesn't connect. A T-Bar doesn't connect. Maybe a Dijakovic. What are you talking about? 90+. Austin Theory was the hill that you want to die on? Austin Theory, who has something actually going for him, momentum? That's where you want to hang your fucking hat on and go, no, this right here isn't working. I found out basically why WWE's not working. It's Theory's character. What are you fucking talking about? And by the way, when you change a character, you don't fucking kill them. You don't bury them. When Elias turned into Ezekiel, they didn't throw Elias off the Grand Canyon to his death. They had him fucking lost in the woods for a couple of months. He didn't go and die. He was just lost in the woods. Why the fuck would you bury Austin Theory 74 feet deep for a character change? A reset, basically, that in the process destroys any credibility that Money in the Bank will ever have going forward. That's 3 strikes and you're out. Remember the James Ellsworth Carmella shit? That was strike 1. Do you guys remember Otis handing the fucking briefcase over to Miz? Strike 2. And this is the icing on the fucking cake. This is strike 3, 4, and 5. Just like hell in a cell, Money in the Bank is fucking buried. They're gonna have to work 10 times as hard to make that match relevant, when now we know that they're just cashing in on mid-card fucking titles. And it's okay. With a lot of the fucking audience, you go on your fucking socials, you read the message boards. Triple H had to do it, man. He was correcting Vince's mistakes. It was Vince's mistakes. You don't fucking correct a mistake by making it worse. 2 wrongs don't make a right. If you think McMahon fucked up by putting it on Theory, that's fine. Think of a creative way to get it off of him that makes it entertaining for the fans. It doesn't completely bury fucking Austin Theory with this weird reset fucking theory that we're going with. No pun intended. And it makes Money in the Bank still prestigious. Why would you not get creative? If this was the fucking plan to just get it off of him ASAP, just have Roman Reigns after the Logan Paul shit, just do the fucking deed. Rip the Band-Aid off real quick. Have him go to NXT and just try to fucking take on Braun Breaker, even if he doesn't cash in. Something of the world title nature. Why the fuck would he go for a mid-card during an open challenge when all he had to do was say, I accept the challenge? You cannot possibly defend this, guys. I don't give a fuck. If your buddies and you all came to the conclusion last night that this was a good call, I don't care if your other favorite podcasters told you they're okay with this and that this was a good call. I don't give a fuck. I ain't anybody else. I'm here to tell you the truth without sugarcoating any bullshit for you. I'm here to call it all out, whether it's VKM, Triple H, Tony Khan, dipshit Dugenheimer, fuckwad Fred, Luigi Lugnuts, Paulie Paul Nuts, Paulie fucking Walnuts, and Paul Nuts, the fucking Nut Brothers. I don't give a fuck who's heading an organization. If it's bullshit, if it absolutely buries shit in the process, you're gonna fucking know about it because it's gonna be talked about. I don't know how anybody who watched that unfold last night can be okay with what they witnessed. Being honest with themselves after calling out Vince McMahon for the better part of 10 fucking years, at least 5 that I've had this fucking channel. That's what we've been doing for VKM. And you're gonna fucking sit there and give Triple H this mulligan because it takes time, Beasley. Give him some time, man. No, time is needed for a decision like this. You have got to be the worst booker / promoter in the world to make a decision like that. It is possible that Triple H will wind up worse than Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I'm going to say that again because this is the dangerous waters that we are now treading on. It is possible, and you may cry about this, you may think I'm such an asshole, and you'd be correct, by the way. It is possible that Triple H, Paul Levesque, will be even worse than Vincent Kennedy McMahon when this is all said and done. Because the internal sabotage seems to be coming from Paul Levesque at an amplified rate. You don't believe me? Let's just fucking put this Austin Theory thing on the back burner just for a second, but I'm going to revisit it, I promise you. Let's look at what Triple H has been doing these past couple months since being in charge. He's hiring everybody back. He's pulling the old Tony Khan, and we know how that worked out for Tony Khan. He imploded his fucking roster from within because he kept putting everybody on that boat, right? Noah's fucking Ark. He kept putting people on the fucking boat until the boat finally fucking sank. Too many people he was hiring, and he didn't have a direction for anybody. All his fucking talent was now having to fight amongst one another. What do you think Paul Levesque is doing? Honestly, what do you think Paul Levesque is doing right now? What do you think he's doing? He's bringing in motherfuckers at an alarming rate. All his fucking people back, and what is it doing for anybody? What's it doing for Candice LeRae? Right? You just brought back Mia Yim. Okay. What about Candice LeRae that just fucking got back? What about fucking Emma who came back right into an L? What are you doing with Emma? What are you doing with Candice LeRae? What are you possibly going to do after Survivor Series with Mia Yim? Because you still have to worry about the Carmellas when she gets back, and Zelina when she gets done with LDF. Everybody needs a role. You're still hiring Dana Brooke. What happens with Dana Brooke? What happens when Naomi and Sasha do come back? Bayley can't even get a fucking championship. What are you going to do with Bayley going forward? Bring in more fucking people. Look at Johnny Gargano. This guy is 50-50 booked at best. I bet you even worse if I do the statistics. Johnny Gargano comes back and Triple H can't even give him proper booking. This is Gargano. This is one of Triple H's boys. Triple H is lost. He is clueless. He is drowning in a sea of his own fucking booking. A sea of his own signings. So you look at all the talent that he's bringing in. Unit. Look at all the talent that he's bringing in, okay? That's a Tony Khan thing that we already know fails. Okay, let's keep it moving. Look how he's booking all of his talent that's already there. Why don't you look at fucking Nikki Cross, who just became Crazy Nikki a couple weeks ago, and then last week she's pinned by Bianca Belair. This week, Nikki Cross wins the 24/7 title, which she ended up throwing in the fucking trash. Hooray! We'll talk about that. But Nikki Cross just lost against Bianca 2 weeks ago. Her first match back as Crazy Nikki. And then this week, she's winning a 24/7 fucking toy championship. You have Austin Theory last week pinned, defeated by Seth Rollins was Austin Theory. This week, Austin Theory defeats Shelton Benjamin. And then later in the night, an hour later, Austin Theory loses his Money in the Bank briefcase match. Otis, last week, wearing a pumpkin on his head, takes an L to Matt Riddle. Right? That was Otis. Now this week, Otis is defeating Elias. Last week, Riddle defeats Otis. And this week, Riddle loses to Solo Sikoa. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? I'm just giving you 7 examples right there. I'm giving you a bunch of examples of 50-50 booking within just 2 weeks of each other. Not even just 3 wins in a row here for some consistency and then 2 back-to-back L's. I am telling you how Triple H is booking everybody right now. Everybody is being placed 50-50 booking. And when you do that, your audience sees no fucking reason to give a shit about you. We've seen it for 10 years with Vinnie Mac. I've never seen it this bad. And it is this bad under supposedly Paul Levesque, Triple H. 50-50 booking for everybody from Nikki Cross to Austin Theory to Matt Riddle to Otis to Elias to Gargano. Everybody is being 50-50 booked. There's no fun. I could not imagine if back in the day Ultimate Warrior was losing 2 or 3 matches in a row and then winning 2 or 3 matches and then losing 1 week and then he wins another week and then Hulk Hogan wins a week, then he loses a week, then he wins a week. Big Boss Man wins a match, then he loses a match, then he wins a match, then he loses a match. I could not imagine Stone Cold wins a match, loses a match, wins a match, loses a match. I could not imagine that type of booking. Everybody from The Undertaker to Ken Shamrock, John Bradshaw, Layfield to Rey Mysterio back in the day. I could not imagine if this type of booking was to happen. I don't see how we could get behind anybody. And I've been ranting about this for 5 years under Vince. Do you think I'm letting Triple H off the hook because it takes time? He just got the reins. He got the reins months ago. Fucking SummerSlam was August. July, actually. You're 4 months into the gig. You can at least, at the bare minimum, stop hiring everybody, look at who you have, and book them properly. That's the bare minimum that Triple H should be doing. Amp Unit, is that not fair to just say that's the bare minimum that he should be doing from week number 1, show number 1? That's bare minimum. And there's people sucking this dude's cock to the end of WWE. There is people that refuse to admit they were wrong. When Vince McMahon got it overtaken supposedly by Triple H, Paul Levesque, everybody said in Triple H we trust. Everybody thought he was going to be the savior. Give it some time. Watch what he does. It's going to be amazing. And what have we found out? He is just like the old bastard in Stanford already. A slight few fucking here and there things that we like, right? Oh, that's that's a little bit of a change. Hey, that's a welcome sight. Everything else is formulaic and even worse than Vince McMahon. And this is just 4 months into it. Wait till he really gets stressed out and he feels the walls caving in on him and he feels the pressure. This is supposed to be a rejuvenated Triple H. 50-50 booking everybody on the roster. Signing everybody else to come on back when he can't even control the roster that he has booking-wise. And then what he did last night was the cherry on top. What he did last night to Austin Theory, and people are fucking trying to defend it. It's a reset. I'm okay. It's a reset. I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna file this under Mulligan, BC, because it's a reset. Who the fuck needed resetting? What are you saying? What do you mean he needed to be reset? He is not a kitchen appliance. He's not a microwave. He doesn't need to be reset into anything. Austin Theory, you just had to come up with a way creatively to take the briefcase off of him. No harm, no foul. Hopefully he maintains momentum going forward. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to destroy the motherfucker and make him look like a fucking geek. A fucking doofus. An embarrassing part of pro wrestling history. He went out there and he cashed in on an open challenge mid-card title. It was an open challenge. The bell never even rang. He just had to fucking say, I accept. On the U.S. title. What are you defending? Even if you had to reset somebody, this is not how you fucking reset someone. By killing the fucking prestige of a whole Money in the Bank match concept, it is no better now than Hell in a Cell. They are fucking dead. They're done. They're done. You could say it was done when Ellsworth cashed in for Carmella or grabbed that briefcase. You could say it was done when Otis got it and then somehow Miz ended up with it and Otis went down to NXT. And now you can officially say that if this is where we're at and there's not even prestige enough that briefcase holds weight. That briefcase means I can get a world title opportunity whenever I want. Now it's just going for the U.S. title? the IC title in the future. Maybe they're going to bring back the 24/7 title from the trash, and they're going to go for the 24/7 championship. Maybe Zack Ryder comes back with the Internet World Championship. And the future Money in the Bank goes for the Zack Ryder Interweb Championship. Maybe they go over to AEW and try to get the FTW Championship. Maybe they're going for the Owen Hart Tournament Championship. Maybe they're going for the Divas Championship. Maybe they find Mick Foley and they try to go for the Hardcore Championship. That's what you're telling me. You say, Beastly, you're running a show. You're trying to be entertaining. I get it, man. Nah, bruh. I'm entertaining just because I'm spitting facts like nobody else does in this community. I'm the only dog that I'm seeing anyway from this incident last night. I'm the only one telling you the truth. I'm the only one telling you how bad this decision was last night. And not fucking sucking up to Triple H for some stupid ass reason. I'm the only motherfucker who's not going to sugarcoat shit in this community. That's how I entertain. Everything else, I'm just spitting facts, dog. Everything else, BC's just dropping the fucking mic red hot, like I always do. That's not for comedy. That's not to be entertaining. Everything I am saying is absolute truth. Money in the Bank was fucking buried last night. Because now we have opened the floodgates to mid-card title cash-ins. Oh, and during open challenges to make you look like more of a fucking geek. More of an embarrassment. But you see, it's no harm, no foul. Triple H will give him something, and he'll be fine by next year, Beasley. This sticks with you forever. This is a Finkel and Einhorn situation. You ever see Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? This is Finkel. Laces out. Where he misses the field goal kick, and his life was never the change. Everybody will never let him let that down. Let him live it down. Finkel is forever. Laces out. Real life situation. Scott Norwood, Super Bowl 21. Super Bowl 21, the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Football Giants. And the Bills had a chance to win the Super Bowl in the final seconds. A field goal. I'll never forget the call. I was a young BC. Snap. Spot. It's got the distance. It is. No good! No good! The Giants win the Super Bowl! That's a real situation. The movie was based on that. Scott Norwood, Super Bowl 21. You can research it. Scott Norwood was never seen after that. I mean, a few appearances, and that was it. He will forever be remembered as the guy who missed the field goal at Super Bowl 21. Finkel will always be the one who missed the field goal while he screams to the mountaintop, but it was laces out! It doesn't matter if it was laces out. Everybody is going to remember this as the biggest debacle in Money in the Bank history. And it's Austin Theory. That's how you reset somebody. The character wasn't working, basically. Yeah, why don't you fucking switch up Ricochet then? Because he fucking sucks. Ricochet's appearance, his character, everything about Ricochet sucks. He can do cool moves, and that's where it ends. Try to get him on the fucking mic. Could you imagine BC versus Ricochet on the microphone? This fucking guy would be lost in the first 6 seconds. I would fucking bury this motherfucker. I would be lighting everything around him on fucking fire on the microphone. These motherfuckers can't hang with BC on the mic. Why don't you fucking tell Ali he needs to change shit up instead of checking out fucking Miz's testicles on Monday Night Raw? But it's Theory, who has a Money in the Bank briefcase, who actually has a character with the whole selfie shit, by the way. Whether you like it or not, that's in the eye of the beholder. But you're telling me that right now, last night, had to happen the way it did. Triple H needed the briefcase off of him by any means necessary. Even though it was horrible in all accounts, BC, I'm going to let it slide. That's what people are saying today. I'm going to let it slide, BC. No harm, no foul, BC. We all knew he wasn't going to cash in successfully anyway. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid this way, BC. No. You forgot where the fuck you just showed up. You showed up to the Amplified channel. And you are amongst the Amplified unit. That means every one of these motherfuckers that smashed the subscription button, they're the most badass motherfuckers in this community. They didn't just smash that on a whim. They smashed that because they can handle amplified truth. They can hang with the fucking amplified truth without sugarcoating any bullshit. The bitch boy Bradens, those are the ones that are too scared to press that subscription button, and I don't blame them. Because if you don't think you can hang, hit the bricks. You get das Boot. The community is sucking off Triple H this morning and coming up with a million reasons why they're okay with this. And I'm giving you one main reason why this is unacceptable to the most amplified of measures. The most amplified of measures! You have in one night, with one of the worst wrestling booking botches I have ever seen in 30 plus years of watching this product, this industry, you have in one moment shattered what was once an immaculate match concept. In one moment of disarray, in one moment of befuddleness, of one moment of epic and amplified cluelessness, Paul Triple H Levesque ruined Money in the Bank. The Grinch ruining Christmas pales in comparison to what Paul Levesque did last night. If you think I'm giving this son of a bitch a mulligan after what he pulled last night, you got another thing coming, Jack. Not in a million years. I couldn't even get outright frustrated when it happened. I literally, when it faded to black and the show went off the air, I literally had to sit there for a second and go, what? That had to have been a Rickroll. That had to have been a prank. That had to have been something more has to happen. They're going to cut back to the show somehow. Something is wrong. There's no way that even Paul Levesque would do something that atrocious to that level. No, it went to another show after that. The 50-50 booking that this guy is doing, before that even happened last night, the 50-50 booking that I am seeing is alarming. Everybody is winning one week and then losing the next at a higher rate than Vince McMahon was having these wrestlers win and lose, win, lose, win, lose. That's alarming, and somebody has to sit Paul Levesque down and say, this is killing you, bro. But on top of that, he keeps hiring more and more and more people while the rest of the fucking roster floats in obscurity. And then the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, the final nail in the coffin was what happened last night. And all of these problems are stacking up, and you're going to sit there and try to defend Triple H? What do you want, a job with him? Are you trying to get a job with World Wrestling Entertainment? Are you trying to get a paycheck? Do you want him to notice you? Do you think he's going to buy you a coffee? Be honest. A lot of people are just upset because they realize they were wrong. They said, in Triple H we trust. They put all their eggs in one basket. Instead of just watching how things go, right? Let's see. Before we just give Triple H all of the praise in the world because of something he did with Black and Gold many years ago, and it fell apart under his watch, by the way. Let's see where it goes. No, everybody wanted to just throw their eggs in the one basket and go, we are saved. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We're saved. Paul Levesque is here. We're saved. Anybody but Vince. And it's Paul. It's Paul. They love Paul. Paul loves them. This is going to be epic. Just give it some time, right? It's going to take some weeks, maybe some months, maybe fucking years it's going to take. But we got Paul Levesque. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Paul Levesque is the biggest ass kisser to Vince McMahon. I don't understand how you don't know that. He tells you in his interviews, don't ever say anything bad about Vince because you don't know what you're talking about behind the scenes. He has said that time and time again. He has told you guys that if you don't like it, you're going to complain on social media anyway. He makes fun of you guys. He's done it time and time again. That's his true feelings. He's learned from the old bastard in Stanford. That's his father-in-law. They're still on the phone every day, 67 times a day probably, talking this shit. Did you honestly think it would be that much different? But I was holding out hope. I didn't want to burst a lot of your guys' bubble. I was hoping you were right. If you notice, BC was letting it play out. I was trying to be a positive one when it came to H, believe it or not. But I can't do that anymore. I'm done sugarcoating this shit because I just don't do that. And I felt like I was not being as honest as I should be because a lot of you guys put so much trust into this fucking guy. And he is turning out to be exactly who we thought he was. He is Paul Levesque. He is Triple H. The same guy that has buried people on his way up the ladder when he was a talent is the same motherfucker here. And I know that's hard to hear because everybody had hope, so I'm the asshole, right? BC, wow, if you just come across the chat, this guy's a dick. This BC's an asshole. He's a douche. That's fine. You can call me every name in the book. I grew up in fucking projects, but I out of the womb, I was probably called a fucking asshole. I don't give a shit. But I'm an honest asshole. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm a truthful asshole. I'm somebody you could actually be around because I'm not going to bullshit you and I'm not shady. You don't have to worry about a BC stabbing you in the back because I'll fuck you up on the front. I'm that kind of guy. So as much as you might not like what I am saying, it is the fucking truth. Austin Theory did not deserve that last night. You may not like Theory. You may not like his character. You may not think that he deserved to be Money in the Bank winner. As many of you have pointed out, there was a million other ways to go. And I'm pretty sure Vince and H would still not know where it was going to end up. So it wouldn't have mattered. No matter what you think about this poor kid. He's not that poor. I'm sure he signed a nice contract. But he didn't deserve that. Money in the Bank did not deserve that type of lackluster bullshit, lazy ass, befuddling, embarrassing, unacceptable booking by Paul Levesque. Money in the Bank didn't deserve that. Austin Theory did not deserve that. Fans did not deserve that. My amplified unit. Is that pretty fucking fair? Was that a half an hour of a fair cold open? Where did I say one thing that was fucking false? There's nothing that I said. Because everything I said, I've already ironed out in my don't piece 4 or 5 times. I made sure that it's accurate. That is fair. Even if you don't completely agree with me, you know that was a botch last night by H. And it's unacceptable, and we cannot let him off the hook, because then he'll keep doing it. We've seen that with Vince. Thank you, unit. Thank goodness I'm not the only one when that show ended that thought, what the fuck just happened? Because you go on social and you start seeing people that are kissing Triple H ass. I mean, you would have thought this was no big deal. Nothing. Oh, it's an open challenge. It's a mid-card title. And Theory cashed in and failed. He was trying to reset, basically. Triple H is going to bring him back as a microwave. A fucking, an oven. A refrigerator. He needs to be reset like a kitchen appliance. Come on, bro. You ain't gonna put that over on the fucking unit, man. No. I am not okay with this under any circumstance. This is one of the biggest booking botches I have ever seen in 30 plus years of watching professional wrestling. I will say that again. This was one of the biggest booking botches I have ever seen in watching professional wrestling. And if you don't mind, I need to make sure I did not blow out the fucking mic during that cold open. So let me just do a fucking quick test here. I'll say this again really loud for my mic test, because I'm going in and out on my fucking stream. I got a little bit of lag. I will say this from the mountaintop. Triple H, you done fucked up, kid. You done fucked up. It's something that as long as you correct this going forward, maybe we can start to rebuild this whole fucking tragic situation with Theory and Money in the Bank and the 50-50 booking, and stop hiring everybody. My playback is good, by the way. Poor Austin Theory. Basically, he's just trying to rectify Vince's mistakes. 2 wrongs don't make a right, buddy. This is not correcting somebody's mistakes by what he did last night. At all. This is Triple H at his worst, and I see this guy coming unglued. Triple H is in a world of shit. He is fucking losing it by the fucking show, by the day, probably by the hour. It needs to be corrected. Even if you fucking want to come up with reasons and ways, somehow, from some of the most blithering of bullshit possibilities that you could come up with ways that this would be justified, how do you explain the 50-50 booking that is happening with everybody? I already told you, Cross last week pinned by Belair. This week she's winning a 24/7 title, pinning Dana Brooke. Last week Austin Theory is being defeated by Seth Rollins. This week he beats Benjamin. An hour later he loses the Money in the Bank briefcase. Otis last week is losing to Riddle with a pumpkin on his head. This week Otis is beating Elias. Last week it's Riddle defeating Otis, and this week Riddle loses to Solo. Everybody is 50-50 booked every week. How is that okay with you? Why are you not saying Triple H is a bad booker? This doesn't take time. Booking the actual talent to look good and be prestigious and meaningful to us, the audience, that doesn't take time. That takes you sitting at a boardroom table meeting or at a Starbucks and just getting creative, having fun, and booking people correctly. Unit, I know I can go another hour about it. That's my cold open, 37-minute cold open. I'm going to go over the show. If you think I like this show, you might want to think again. I'm going to go over this show. I'm going to do it real quick. I'm going to try not to keep you guys here all day. But if you don't mind, I would like to go over the show. I know a bunch of you guys have thrown BC a coffee in Super Chat form. I appreciate that big time. It's never needed. I do appreciate it. And I will make sure that I give you guys a shout out in just a little bit. But I want to go over these matches, these segments, to show you what I mean about Triple H going off the rails, right? I have examples. I have facts. I'm not just saying this because it's a YouTuber's opinion. That podcaster, he's very opinionated. He doesn't like when people disagree. No, that's bullshit. As long as you're respectful, you can always disagree. I ask that you don't bring stupidity. If you're trying to find fucking rights and reasons for things that just are unacceptable, that's not a difference of opinion. That is stupidity. Well, what happened last night with Austin Theory, right? Nobody in their right mind could be okay with that. Or I hope you never have a platform where you can speak pro wrestling, because that's just bad for everybody. That's just wrong. I mean, that's wrong on every fucking level. But Monday Night Raw, let's just go over some of this shit so you see exactly what I'm talking about, man. And we'll start with hour number 1. And I'm going to get a new coffee started if you don't mind. I got my Dunkin'. Let me just down that. I'm going to crack a new one, man. This is a Black Stag Iced Latte Mocha. Brand new. I've never tried this before. It's a bold coffee without all the sugar, because BC's too amplified. I don't need all that sugar, man. I was born amplified. So just give me the fucking caffeine. Give me the coffee. So I'm going to bust this open right now if you guys don't mind, and then I'm going to go over this shit with you. Hey, Amp Unit, I see you guys up in the chat. Thank you for being with BC, man. This video needed to happen. The community has lost their fucking marbles. Everybody is going off and going on. I'm okay with it. Oh, it makes sense for the following reasons. It's a reset. It's covering Vince's mistakes. He needed a character change. He was never going to beat Roman. What are you saying? What happened last night is not how you do business. Don't be a fucking idiot. You can't with fucking people, man. You can't, and that's why we have an amplified unit, because we cannot be like everybody else. We have to be set by ourselves, man. We have to be that badass group in the corner. We're going to be the little ECW part of the community, but we're going to be the most badass motherfuckers. Hour 1 starts with the Usos and the New Day, middle of the ring, hyping up their title match for Friday's SmackDown. This was one of their best back and forths, focusing on pressure. That was what they focused on. The Usos are telling New Day, you don't know what the pressure is like with our family name and what we have to live up to. And the New Day is saying, you don't know the pressure of just seeing if we're out of catering for a show or a week. That's fucking pressure. So it was actually one of their best back and forths that I've seen from them. Unfortunately, Matt Riddle and his bongos, whatever the fuck you call them, Riddle hits the ring for no other reason than to make several bong jokes and then set up a six-man schmaz with he and the New Day versus the Bloodline, Jimmy J and Solo Sikoa. Now, hold on. Let me get my chat back up. All right. Make sure you guys are back on, man. Now, the match spanned, this six-man tag match, it spanned 25 minutes and 3 commercial breaks. It was a schmaz. Most of it was contested under tornado tag rules. There was just one problem. It was never a tornado tag match. All 6 dudes were just, it was like an AEW fucking trios match. There's no fucking rhyme or reason. There's no control. It's just anarchy. It's a circus. It's a schmaz. And that's what this was. It was a lot of action. But it was a schmaz. Like, literally to the definition. Solo defeats Riddle via pinfall. And that was it. 45 minutes of the show at this point is done. And what did we accomplish? New Day versus Usos, part 45 at 45. I'm being fucking generous. This is probably part 95 with them. What did we accomplish in the first 45 minutes of Raw? A fucking schmaz match with nobody wanting to sell because you were trying to speed through 25 minutes and 3 commercials. And we hyped up, New Day and Usos for the 95th fucking time. As if we haven't seen every type of sequence that you could possibly see. But this is going to feed to the banger audience. That's just after the match, they're going to go, what a banger! Did you guys see the banger on Smack? Yes. Yeah, we have seen it. We've seen it 95 fucking times between these same exact teams. I could not imagine, and I mean this. Switch up the light in here. I could not imagine if Demolition took on the Legion of Doom 95 times back in the day. I could not imagine if the Hart Foundation took on the Rockers. I could not imagine if Natural Disasters took out the Beverly Brothers or the Killer Bees versus the Bushwhackers 95 times. I couldn't imagine that because it would feel so formulaically stale by the third match. But they produce bangers! Here we go again. We're letting them off the hook. We're coming up with excuses. What do I always preach to you, man? Wrestling is more than bangers and sequences and moves. It's about matches we give a fuck about. "45 minutes in this show. Nothing was accomplished. Nothing at all. And Riddle, 50-50 booked. Last week, he's defeating a pumpkin head Otis. This week, he's losing to Solo Sikoa. 50-50 booking. Nobody wants to talk about it. When it was Vince McMahon, we fucking railed. We fucking threw this guy under every monster truck, got in the fucking thing, ran him over, backed it up, put it in drive, backed it up again in reverse. We ran him over 8,000 times every time he made a bad booking decision. Triple H, we turn a blind eye. Nobody wants to talk about the 50-50 booking anymore. He's got a plan. We're in the midst of a reset. By the way, thank you guys, man. That cold open, that 37-minute cold open, over 200 on the ups. I just noticed that. That was bad. I forgot to even announce that. That helps the algorithm later. I appreciate that. Let's get that to 250 plus, man. I do really appreciate that. So 45 minutes of the show, done. Nothing accomplished. Then we ended hour number 1. Do you want to know how we ended hour number 1, folks? Guys, did you see the show last night? Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander. JBL does his best to piss off the crowd enough for them to give a shit enough to boo Baron Corbin. There was just one problem. Unfortunately, JBL is finding out what we already knew. Nobody gives a shit about Baron Corbin. That's not shade. I didn't mind Broke Baron, actually. I had 95 creative ways you could have went with Broke Baron. But we've seen 100 different variations of Baron Corbin, and this is probably one of the worst. I can't believe I'm saying that because JBL in your corner, hyping up real heat for you, generating real heat, you would think that's epic on paper. And JBL is flawless as of late. But he's connected to a guy who generates crickets. Literally, you could hear a pin drop when this guy comes out. Watch! And that crowd last night, they weren't having it anyway. I mean, they showed up with their fucking Snuggies and their fucking MyPillow. And they showed up to that event last night ready to take a nap. They were just tired. They showed up with their Snuggies, their sleeping bags. Some brought some marshmallows and some fucking s'more kits. Skittles. I mean, they were just ready for a sleepover. That crowd was fucking silent. I understand. But this is every fucking week with this Baron Corbin. One guy during the whole entrance, one fucking guy, he was in the front row, was standing up when Corbin came out. And he was just trying to get TV time. I think he had a sign. He was trying to get on the TV, on the camera. That was it. 90 seconds later, following end of days, Corbin pins Cedric Alexander. Complete fucking crickets. No bullshit. And then we went right into commercial break. Again, I ask, what was all of this for? What does it do? These are questions I'm asking because this is not a full television show. A television show that you want to watch and you enjoy, or you want to enjoy because you want to be entertained, it gives you a reason. The characters you are invested into and the stories, you have to put the fucking remote control down. Hour number 1, what happened? How is this a television show that is entertaining? Baron Corbin beats Cedric Alexander. I don't even know how they found this guy, because rumor has it he was no longer sitting at catering every week eating his triple layered mousse cake. Rumor has it he's been taking the whole cake and finding a hiding spot in the parking lot. Somehow they found Cedric. And it was just to take another fucking L like this, to bury him even more. By the time they do something with Cedric, right, some people are saying, hey, maybe Hurt Business is coming back together. Lashley looks like he's going a little more heel. They actually brought back Benjamin and Cedric to take L's, but at least they're back. Guys, by the time they get back together, it's going to work. They're going to have to work 100 times harder just to make us give a fuck again. You think I'm going to forget about what bums they've turned into? This is why booking matters. This is why you cannot 50-50 book motherfuckers. I'm not just going to forget about what happened to Cedric and Shelton the past 1.5 to 2 years. And then we're just going to wave a wand, expecto petroleum, and all of a sudden we bounce out of Hogwarts, and all of a sudden Hurt Business is as badass as they were when they first started 2 years ago. No! How do you fucking let that slide? Raise your standards as wrestling fans. Because that's why people shit on us. Because our standards are so fucking low that when we see shit like this 50-50 booking, when we see what happened with Austin Theory last night, we sit back and go, I'm okay with it. There was no way to really take it off of him anyway. He wasn't going to cash in on Roman. Let's just get it over with. I'm okay with it, right? Because we lowered our standards so fucking low. No, BC refuses. My amplified unit refuses to do that shit. This hour did nothing as a television show to make me give a fuck about the rest of the 2 hours in 2 weeks Survivor Series and anything happening coming up in 2023. Nothing. The whole first hour, the only thing you can look forward to is the 95th matchup between New Day and Usos on Friday night. And that's even if the match actually fucking happens. I'm hearing some shit, but maybe it will, because you have the breaking of the record. How is this a television show, man, when there's no care? What is entertaining? And after the first hours, you had people going, this is a decent show so far. I'm like, I know as human beings we have differences in opinions, right? We agree to disagree a lot as human beings. But then there's just times where I'm befuddled that somebody can look at something so differently if you're just presented with facts about how much better this should be. Not could be, should be. And then, unit, get my fucking chat back up. Hour number 2 kicks off with Seth Rollins issuing an open challenge for the U.S. title. Judgment Day comes out and Finn Balor accepts. AJ Styles and the OC then come out, and Seth Rollins literally just runs away. The Judgment Day and the OC then begin a promo, and at this point, BC is baffled how bad this booking is. I'm thinking we're doing this again. Didn't we just fucking end this at Crown Jewel? This is what we're doing, and we're just doing it with another fucking promo into a brawl? But then I see the return of Mia Yim to the WWE. You would not know who this was if you're the live crowd because they were still in their snuggies, sleeping the night away. You could see them in the audience. They were fucking cozying up with their MyPillow. They were tucked in to their sleeping bags, right? Some of the marshmallows are still roasting by the fireside. Oh yeah, they were all snuggied in. So you wouldn't even know that Mia Yim came back to WWE because the crowd didn't give a shit. But she did. And I like Mia Yim. You guys know. I like Mia Yim. My problem is, what the fuck are you going to do with her? Everybody is already 50-50 booked under Triple H. Worse than Vince McMahon ever did somehow. After just 4 months, Triple H is doing a worse job than Vince McMahon. I'm giving you guys facts. That's not my opinion. BC, you're being an ass, man. You're being too... No. Maybe I am being an asshole, but I'm telling you facts. Triple H factually, because I ran through the statistics, the numbers. I gave you guys examples 3 times already in this one live stream. Triple H is doing a worse job booking than Vince McMahon in terms of 50-50 booking people into irrelevancy and making your audience not give a shit. So what is bringing in more people going to do? Candice LeRae is already an afterthought. She just got back a few weeks ago. Or maybe a month or 2 ago, but still, she just got back. Emma is already an afterthought. Emma just got back last week. Open challenge, flat on her back, and thanks for coming. We're hearing that they might bring back Chelsea Green. Oh, yay. We can pop. We can say, hey, good to see you again, right? And BC says she should have never been released. But what are they all doing if Triple H is already drowning in his pit of fucking booking misery? What are we doing with them? Am I really the only fucking podcaster that's calling this shit out? Why will nobody else be truthful? Why will nobody else be honest with their fucking audience? Ask yourself why they are sugarcoating shit. I am not going to let this slide, man. We need to ask these questions so that it can get back to H, so that it could get back to Nick Khan, get back to Stephanie, and we can fix it. When we speak loudly, we fix shit. Look what happened with Rocky Maivia. We helped to create The Rock. Look what happened with Austin. We helped create the Stone Cold. Look what happened to Daniel Bryan in the Yes Movement. We helped create that shit. That's what we can do when we speak the fuck out. This is unacceptable booking for everybody. So Mia Yim comes back. It was good to see her. The crowd didn't know who she was, or just didn't give a fuck. A lot of us, it was good to see her. You got Keith Lee in AEW, her man, and she's in WWE. It's another one of those situations. Rhea Ripley is in WWE. Her man, Matthews, is in AEW. Malachi is in AEW. His woman Zelina is in WWE. You have so many of these type of relationships. And there's a lot more too, by the way. Charlotte Flair, WWE. Andrade, AEW. I already said Rhea Ripley and Matthews. But the point is, man, to add this relationship, it's weird. It's an interesting dynamic. But the problem unit is what do you do with fucking Mia? Triple H's new MO is just to hire everybody. And I've already seen this with Tony Khan. And if I called it out with Tony Khan, just like I called out Vince McMahon's 50-50 booking for 5 years, I'm going to call out Triple H when he's 50-50 booking even worse. Just like I called out Tony Khan when he hired the entire fucking wrestling world. Anybody that could do backflips in their fucking yard, Tony Khan brought him in. I'm going to fucking hold Triple H, Paul Levesque to the same fucking standards. Mia Yim helps out the OC, taking out Rhea Ripley and helping the OC extract some revenge on Judgment Day from Crown Jewel. Backstage, Bianca Belair came across Rhea Ripley, or should I say vice versa. They're setting this match up too fucking early. If it's going to be for Royal Rumble, absolutely not. If you're going to do Bianca and Rhea Ripley, WrestleMania, don't put Charlotte Flair in there with Bianca at Mania. Nobody needs to see that unless you're an exquisite Charlotte Flair fan. If that's the case, much props to you. You're going to love it. But if you're not a Charlotte Flair fan, this is absolutely one of the shittiest concepts you could have for Bianca at WrestleMania. And you know she's just going to lose it to Charlotte Flair. Why not build up Rhea Ripley to the highest of levels? She's already well on her way. The body slam to Gallows and what she's been doing recently, she's on her way. WrestleMania, because I don't think Sasha and Bianca is going to happen again. I want Sasha to hoist up a championship at WrestleMania. I don't think we're going to get Sasha and Bianca again. Rhea Ripley would be the fucking one. Why rush this to Royal Rumble when you know Bianca ain't going to drop the belt until WrestleMania? It's too fucking early. If this is just a seed planted, I'm okay with it. Because obviously the match, I'm down for. But in the meantime, Rhea Ripley has to have a one-on-one match with Beth Phoenix. That is an unbelievable exhibition match. Beth Phoenix, Rhea Ripley, one-on-one. Let's dance. And I love Beth. But Beth has to do the job for Rhea. Send her on her way to WrestleMania. Where unfortunately, because I love Bianca Belair, but Bianca has to do the job. Rhea Ripley hoists that championship up the right way. Not like it when it was her and Charlotte Flair and the whole wrestling world was like, what the fuck? The right way. And we perhaps, if we do it the right way, perhaps we just built a new star. What a crazy concept. Be fucking amazing. Otis then defeats Elias via pinfall after a tree trunk slam, they're calling it. You know this was a consolation prize for Otis after Triple H made him wear a pumpkin on his fucking head last week. Why bring Elias back is my question if you still have nothing for him. Why would you even bring Elias back? Since he's come back, he has played fucking Riddle's bongos. He's played on Riddle's bong. And then he's taking L's to people like Tree Trunks. And if you're wondering about the two participants in this match, Elias and Otis, the last 2 weeks, they're just two more casualties in 50-50 booking. Elias wins last week, Elias loses this week. Otis loses last week, Otis wins this week. Two more people, 50-50 booked. I'm giving you guys more facts. I'm not just speaking out my fucking ass. I'm telling you facts. Why would you even bring back Elias, man? The whole Ezekiel shit, and you want to talk about a reset of a character? Anybody that's trying to defend Triple H in this whole fucking Riddle shit or fucking Austin Theory shit. You're trying to defend something about because his character didn't work for you. His character was fucking fine. You just didn't like it. I hear the same shit about Bray fucking Wyatt, and he's one of the best characters of all time in pro wrestling. The numbers tell you that. All the metrics. It doesn't matter if you like him or not or your opinion on Bray Wyatt. And now we hear the same thing with Theory. Theory had to have that happen last night because of his character and he needed a reset? And you couldn't think of a better fucking way to do it justice? And I bring up Elias. That's a fucking reset. They totally transformed this guy to his younger brother Ezekiel, and they didn't throw him off the Grand Canyon to his death to do it. They had him get lost in the woods for a couple months, and then he came back. You don't embarrass somebody to a point of no return, to a point where that's going to be talked about the rest of their career, because that is going to be talked about the rest of Theory's career. It's the Finkel and Einhorn. Laces out. Doesn't matter what field goal you kick afterwards. Laces out. Everybody is going to remember that Finkel missed that kick. You can steal Dan Marino all you want. They're going to remember that shit only. And then Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss are face-to-face with Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai of Damage Control. Best part easily was Io and Asuka screaming at one another in fucking Japanese. It was iconic. I always want to see one-on-one Io versus Asuka anyway. Main stage, give them 20 minutes, let them rock. Just bare minimum, watch what they can do. Because it'll be fun. Their characters will thrive. They will entertain you. They will check off every box, not just cool moves and sequences. But hearing them go off on one another in pure, sheer Japanese for fucking 60 to 90 seconds was fucking epic. And then afterwards, you had Io just end the back and forth, just calling Asuka bitch. She just calls her a bitch. And that's how it ends. And all 6 ladies then go to war. Again, for the 87th time. We've been seeing this since Damage Control got together on July, 30th, 31st? Whatever, the last day in July, SummerSlam. And ever since, July, August, September, October, November, 5 months now we're in. 5 months we've been seeing the same 6 ladies brawl. It's not a storyline anymore. It's just like, it's repetitive. It's fucking rinse and repeat is what I call it. It's formulaic. It's redundancy at its most worst of levels. But all 6 ladies are in there again battling it out. In fact, there's going to be an 88th war between them because the women's match was made official for War Games. So you're going to see them all wrestle again, this time in War Games. Nikki Cross attacks the Faces to send us to commercial after this segment. And then Austin Theory defeats Shelton Benjamin in 90 seconds via A-Town Down. Great that your Money in the Bank briefcase holder is finally winning a match. What a crazy concept. But why did Shelton come out of catering just to look like a fucking geek? A doofus! Shelton, like Cedric, would take the triple-layered moose cake at catering, and they would find a hiding spot in the parking lot. I don't know how they found Cedric and Shelton, but it was to come back, and in just a couple of minutes, and in this case, 90 seconds, to just take a fucking L. And it doesn't do anything for Theory, because by the end of the night, an hour later, he was going to look like a bigger clown. 50-50 booking at its worst. Thank you, Paul Levesque. Thanks, buddy, for your horrible fucking booking. Thanks for nothing, Paul. Nothing done here. Nothing that was done here could not have been done by a jobber, or should I say, could have just been done by a jobber at the local bingo hall that was just looking for a quick paycheck with a side gig. You find some dipshit down around the block that'll do the job for Austin Theory in 90 seconds. You did not have to take a star or somebody that should be like Benjamin. You didn't have to pluck him from catering just to take a 90-second L, bro. Danny dipshit Dugenheimer, fuckwad Fred. Luigi Lugnuts, my local pizza delivery guy, could have done that job in 90 seconds. No harm, no foul. Why do we have to ruin people along the way? This company has been ass backwards for over 5 years, and Triple H is showing the same fucking things that the Vince McMahon did. It's the same type of fucking booking. And then Miz and Johnny Gargano end our number 2, after Johnny reveals more damaging footage of the Miz and Loomis's relationship. Hidden footage of Miz talking to his publicist or some shit. Or somebody that wants to make a documentary or so. I don't know. There's big money on the line if Miz's story is accurate. So Miz is telling this story. Johnny Gargano somehow has it taped. He's got a remote control to the Tron. And then we go into a match with Miz and Johnny Gargano. Miz defeats Gargano via pinfall. Miz defeats Gargano. Gargano was just losing to Baron Corbin 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. The problem is that Gargano just got back a couple months ago. And this guy's already 50-50 booked, losing to guys like Baron Crickets Corbin. That's right, Crickets Corbin. And then the Miz. Johnny wrestling. And you're telling me to just relax. The booking's going to get better, BC, and you're going to care about him. It's just a reset. I got your fucking reset, bro. I got your fucking reset. This is bullshit. Graves was the best part of this match. Graves was epic. This was old school Bobby Heenan, where the Miz used like a pipe because Dexter Lumis supposedly dragged him underneath the ring. It was just to set up the referee to look underneath the ring. Miz hits him with a fucking pipe or some shit, a wrench, whatever the fuck. And Corey Graves is like, what happened? I dropped a contact or something. He was like, my wires all got stuck. I'm trying to get my wires underneath the seat. What happened? Patrick, what happened? I didn't see it. This is what Bobby Heenan used to say back in the day when a heel would do some cheatery to win. And Bobby Heenan would claim, the weasel Bobby Heenan would claim that he didn't see it. What are you talking about, Gorilla? My contact dropped. I didn't see it. It looks like a perfectly clean pin. You're seeing things, Gorilla. You're seeing things. Corey Graves was epic in this, man. Other than that, we just saw Johnny Gargano lose another fucking match, man. Crickets Corbin 2 weeks ago, and last night to Miz. And I don't see how this is helping Johnny Gargano. Candice LeRae is already an afterthought like Emma. And now Mia Yim you can add to the fucking mix. And then Triple H just keeps adding more and more motherfuckers. More until the ship finally sinks. The old bastard from Stamford, Connecticut, VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, once told Tony Khan, or in an answer to Tony Khan's promotion, he said, maybe they'll hire all of the people we released and they're going to sink their own ship. Isn't it funny how Triple H is hiring back a lot of those talents? And isn't it funny? It's not that funny, actually. If you want to see this business, this company succeed, it's not funny how the sip, I need another fucking sip. The ship is sinking. Because that's what's happening in WWE. Triple H is way over his head. The water is going over his fucking dome piece, and this guy can't fucking swim fast enough to get out of this shit storm. Triple H doesn't even realize he is sinking his own ship, and we will sit back and give him mulligans. We will sit back and we'll blame football for 1.5 and 1.6 in the ratings. When even with football, there's no excuse that they wouldn't be at a 2-2 to a 2-4 tops. Bare minimum, I should say. Tops, they should be at a 3.0. Even with cord cutting, even with Hulu, even with YouTube clips. Even with people more on their phones these days, all the research points that pro wrestling, Monday Night Raw, should at least be at a 2.5 to a 3. But if you want to talk bare minimum, I'll lower that to a 2.2 to a 2.4 with Monday Night Football. And you're telling me a 1.5, 1.6 is the best they could do? I'm calling bullshit. Major bullshit. Let me crack this coffee, guys. Unit, you still rocking up in there, man? I've been yelling for over an hour. I understand. I'm in a mood today, man. I'm not happy with this shit. I'm pissed off at more than just wrestling, I promise you. I'm not going to go powerbomb a Starbucks barista after the live stream just because I'm pissed about pro wrestling. I ain't taking it that serious. But a lot of business shit has to be done in the next month that I thought I took care of in October. So I'm in a mood, and this shit is just befuddling. I hate stupidity. You guys know that. Stupidity pisses me off. And what I saw last night is sheer stupidity from Paul Levesque, the son-in-law of Vince McMahon. This is a new coffee, man. Black Stag iced latte. Less sugar, man, because I don't need all that sugar shit. I just need the caffeine, and let's get more amplified. I'm already amplified enough. I don't need more sugar. Let me take a big swig, and we're going to get to hour number 3. And we have a lot to talk about, because you think if you thought I was going to be happier with hour 3, you got another thing coming, bro. First of all, salute to my amp unit for making it to hour 3 here with BC just screaming the whole fucking time. Salute to you guys. Thank you for being a part of the unit. Thank you for subscribing, guys. I never say that enough. Thank you for smashing that up. We're just a few away from 250 live, and I keep forgetting to even mention that. So we're almost at 250. I appreciate you guys so much. Even if you disagree with BC from time to time, or maybe a lot, I appreciate that you understand it's coming from a place of purity. I love professional wrestling. I want to see all these companies succeed. Even AEW. I wanted to see ECW succeed, man. It still tears me up that ECW never lasted. I want to see everybody succeed. And it's so heartbreaking to see it all suck so fucking badly. And then we all just lie because we hope to see it better, but we're not being honest with ourselves. And BC can't lie to you guys, man, because then I'd be lying to myself and I shouldn't have a channel. So I really do appreciate you guys, man, for understanding where I am coming from. I really do appreciate that. Salute to all you guys. Hour number 3 started with Nikki Cross defeating Dana Brooke via pinfall in just under 4 minutes. And this match was actually for the 24/7 championship. So Cross, another individual who's just 50-50 booked, guys. Nikki Cross lost last week to Bianca Belair, her first match as Crazy Nikki, and she's already flat on her back looking up at the lights. And then this week, Nikki Cross is winning a 24/7 title, beating Dana Brooke. I just don't understand where this 50-50 booking is going. I don't understand why Triple H cannot see that he is hurting the characters, the wrestlers, hurting their careers, but he's also making it hard for us to care about any of these people if we're just watching them lose every other week. And post-match, he throws the title away, but that should show you how bad WWE is, man. They couldn't even get the title in the trash. The title misses the trash. I mean, if that is not just bad mojo for WWE, they can't even get rid of the 24/7 title. They can't even get rid of it. They try to throw it away, and the universe is like, nah, fuck that shit. You were bad for too long, buddy. You're sticking with that shit. It wouldn't even go into the trash. I will say for the third time, if you want to talk 50-50 booking, Cross, last week pinned by Belair, this week wins the 24/7 title. Austin Theory, last week pinned by Rollins, this week defeats Benjamin. Then he loses an hour later his Money in the Bank briefcase. Otis, last week, wears a pumpkin on his head while eating a pin. To Riddle, this week, Otis is defeating Elias. Last week, Riddle defeats Pumpkinhead Otis, and this week, Riddle loses to Solo, and you can go on and on and on with all of the 50-50 booking that Triple H is doing. And then we go to the main event. Seth Rollins' U.S. title open challenge. At first, it looks like Ali is going to accept as he's on the Tron. He then gets pulled off of camera, and we hear him get beat up. Bobby Lashley enters the frame and accepts the challenge. We go to commercial break. When we come back, Lashley destroys Rollins, even puts him through the commentary table. He then walks away. You could have became a champion. This dude could have became a champion. Just let the dude fucking get back in the ring, get to his feet, and then ring the bell. Lashley just walks away. How is that making your wrestlers look fucking good, man? Bobby Lashley. I mean, I love Beast Bobby, but even when they're trying to make him a beast, they do booking that makes somebody that uses logic and common sense like BC and many of my amplified unit, many of us that didn't lower our fucking bar so low that we're just going to let stupidity fly right over our heads. They put people like Bobby Lashley in these situations that make him look so foolish, like a fucking idiot. And he just walks away. And then Austin Theory comes out. Austin Theory during an open challenge, which the bell never rang. So Austin Theory just has to tell the ref, once he gets back in the ring, I want to accept. No. So first of all, Austin Theory is out there to cash in on a mid-card title, the United States Championship. A title, by the way, that has an open challenge, which seems to be every other week at least. So Austin Theory just has to wait his turn, even if he didn't get next in line last night. But he doesn't even take the open challenge. Nope. He never took the open challenge. He decided to waste his Money in the Bank briefcase. And then he failed 2 minutes later. I'm going to say this again. And I want you to understand every word I am saying when you go and defend this decision last night. Austin Theory came down to the ring during an open challenge, decided not to take the open challenge on a mid-card U.S. title, and cashed in the briefcase that is for world championships. It's an unwritten rule. You go for the world title. Even if you're going to fail, okay, you come up with a creative way to do it. And then he fails 2 minutes later. I tried every which way. I really did. to meet some people in the middle. Like, how can they come up with a reason that this is acceptable? Oh, they wanted to reset. They were trying to correct a Vince's mistakes. Triple H was so lost, he just ripped the Band-Aid off and let's just forget about it. I tried. None of it makes sense. This was a massive botch. I personally, and I know I'm not alone, by the way, it may not be everybody, but a lot of those Amplified Unit members that you see in that chat right now, whether it's an Alexi, Iman Perry, JR9 Gaming, Alicia, Malachi, Quentin, Crazy Country Boy, WWE, AEW Marvel Fan, Fury 9000, Derek Fleming, Carlos Ray, Enforcer 2K9, James Shrimp Fajitas, it doesn't fucking matter. I bet you most of them, it's going to take 10 times the work to make us give a fuck about Money in the Bank again, because now we know how it ends up. Or at least the goalposts have been stretched so far that you actually broke the goalposts. The goalposts have split in half. You stretched it so far as to where we can cash in the title. And for what title? How is that prestigious to you guys? You get a Money in the Bank contract, and your ultimate goal is to try to win the mid-card title, and you foolishly do it during an open challenge, which in effect wasted the whole thing, and you don't see a problem that this is going to stick with Theory forever. This isn't about a reset. You can give Austin Theory 10 more character changes. He will never shake this off. This is going to carry with him forever. This is going to hurt Money in the Bank forever for people that actually have common sense. And we want shit to not just be entertaining, but be logical. And we're willing to go outside the box too. We're willing to do batshit crazy shit like Hocus Pocus and Smoke and Mirrors and all the Bray Wyatt shit and The Undertaker and Papa Shango. That's pro wrestling, man. It's wacky. We get it. But even that shit, somehow, if you go back and you watch the storylines and you watch it progress, it had a trajectory. It had a purpose. It actually had logic to it. What happened last night and all the 50-50 booking that's happening and all these wrestlers coming back and getting signed by WWE, this has no logic. This has no fucking logic. And what we've done for 4 months is we're lying to ourselves and saying that this is dramatically better than Vince McMahon. We're watching Pro Wrestling's WWE Raw with rose-colored glasses because of the minor changes. 4 fucking months, and this show is not that much different than Vincent Kennedy. Austin Theory did not deserve this. Money in the Bank was too awesome, too special. It did not deserve this. I ask you to do one thing, man. Please hold Paul Levesque accountable. Don't let him slide. He needs to hear that shit so it never happens in the future. If you sit there and you give him a mulligan every single fucking time, oh, it's okay, 50-50 booking BC, but you're right, you fucking called out Vince McMahon 85 times a fucking hour when he was 50-50, it's okay. Signing everybody in the world, I like it, basically, they never should have left. Okay, well now your fucking company is sinking, the ship is sinking, it's too much weight on the boat. That's okay, basically, it's Triple H. The worst Money in the Bank call I've ever seen was last night under Triple H. It's okay, basically. It's Triple H. No. And that's how it ends. Rollins defeats Theory with a stomp. Rollins defeats Theory with a stomp. Because Triple H had no other creative way to do this better. The worst decision you would think you could possibly come up with, right? I want you guys to do me a favor. The worst decision you could possibly think of for that Money in the Bank would not have been worse than this. None of us expected this. We thought maybe NXT's Braun Breaker World Championship, and maybe even then he'd fail. Never did we think that Paul Levesque would trash everything, light a fucking match, and watch that shit burn as he walks away. Never did we think Paul Levesque would do that. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's just like the father-in-law, isn't he? Who told you that from the beginning? It was BC and many wrestlers who told you firsthand how he buried them on his rise to the top as a talent, how he was backstage, how he always clung to the powers that be. He was always an ass kisser. Did you really think that was going to change, guys? Me neither. But I held out hope because you guys did, a lot of you guys. In Triple H, we trust. You screamed it from a mountaintop. And what happened last night is that mountain collapsed. I just hope you got off in time. My name's BC Amplified. That is your Monday Night Raw 11/7/22 review. I appreciate every single one of you for being with BC. To the hundreds that were live, to the thousands that are going to catch this video within the next 48 hours. I hope you could handle the amplification. If you took it another level and you didn't just smash that up, but you actually subscribed to the fucking channel, well, damn, you guys are badass. Because usually I scare people away. But I love to have you. I just hope you can continue in the future to handle the amplification. Much respect to all of you guys, man. Go about your day and whoop that ass. Stay amplified. Crush it out, man. If anybody wants to stick around, I'm going to stick around for a little bit and go over super chats. This is where people, through my amplified unit members, they take it another step beyond. And they actually tip the content creator. They throw BC a coffee. And that's always huge to BC because, honestly, growing up, I came from the project. So when you buy somebody a beverage, when you buy some, back then it was a beer. As you get older, it's a coffee. When you buy somebody a beverage, a coffee, that's the ultimate sign of respect. You can buy somebody a house. You can buy them a car. You can new fucking Jordans. That doesn't matter to BC. I can afford all that myself. I can get the fucking houses. I can get the cars. I have plenty of Jordans, plenty of Oakleys. But when you throw a coffee to somebody, that is the ultimate sign of respect. And so that's why I always thank you guys so much, man. A coffee is, it's more than the money. It's more than the fucking beverage. It's the act. The act that you took the entertainment from this content creator and you felt the fucking desire to tip them, to say thank you in a grander way. That's why I say thank you, man. So I wanted to just let you guys know that's why I always look at the super chats a little bit differently than others, because it means much more to BC. It's the ultimate sign of respect. When you throw someone a coffee, and trust me, to this day, I buy a lot of people coffees, a lot of people, and because I know that's the ultimate sign of respect. I love footing the bill for people because I want them to know that I respect the shit out of them. So that is why I'm going to take extra time right now. Even though I do have a lot to do, it doesn't fucking matter. You guys are going to come first, and I'm going to fucking spend however long it takes. And I'm going to give every single fucking one of you that threw BC a call, I'm going to give you a shout out right the fuck now. So if anybody wants to stick around, the review is over, but I'm going to answer any fucking questions in the super chats or just hang out, and we'll discuss it in length. BC will tell you how I really feel, even more in depth right about now. JR9 Gaming kicked us off, man. This must have been when we were not even live, because I didn't even see this one. JR9 says, Triple H's takeover has ruined Theory, as since VKM retired, Theory's win record is 5 of 32, 16% win percentage. Just criminal booking from Triple H for a talent that was Mr. Money in the Bank. JR9, I love those type of statistics. I love win-loss statistics, and I did not even know that. I knew it was bad. I was probably telling myself not to look at Austin Theory statistics. But to know that he's 5 of 32 since Triple H has taken over, That's more than just correcting a Vince McMahon wrong. That is literally the definition of burying somebody. And I never use that term. You guys know that. If you're tried and true, you know it. If you're new to the channel, you know damn well. Or no, if you're new to the channel, you're going to find out quickly. I don't like words like you deserve it, that chant. I don't like words like they're buried, because I think we use that too loosely these days. But Austin Theory has been buried by Triple H Paul Levesque. And it's been over time, and last night was the final nail in the fucking coffin, no doubt. And Jer9 Gaming just gave you more fucking facts. Jer9, I can't appreciate you enough, brother, especially for those type of numbers. Because that is fucking just... everything I just said, it cements it in stone even fucking more. It gives it even more validation, as if that was even possible. But Jer9, you just made it possible. Salute. And Jer9 with another 5, too. Another coffee says, only intriguing part of Raw was Bray's logo once again appearing behind Alexa. Also, Johnny has lost 3 of 5. 60% of singles matches since August 22nd's return. So I was telling you guys Johnny Gargano is 50-50 book. He's only 3 of 5. So I just told you, he lost, Baron Corbin 2 weeks ago, and then he lost against Miz. How the fuck do you bring back a guy called Johnny Wrestling like that? And Jer9, they're doing this Bray Alexa thing, and Jer, I honestly hope they conclude with them two reuniting somehow. I hope this isn't just to string us all along, because they honestly don't know where they're going with it. Because this could go another fucking several months, just like Miz and Dexter Lumis. At first, we were captivated a little bit by it, right? Just a little bit. We didn't mind the Miz and Lumis storyline. And then all of a sudden, I think I can speak for most of us, this storyline has shit the fucking bricks every which way possible. It has gotten to the point where I just want this Dexter Lumis Miz thing fucking done. And you say, well, you see, you claim you want storylines, you get... That's... The storyline has turned into just... It sucks. It had so much potential. So much potential. And now you can tell they don't know where they're even going with it. They're backtracking. The story doesn't even make sense when Johnny Gargano is telling his side of the story and why Miz linked up with Dexter Lumis. You could tell that was never supposed to be the fucking storyline. Jer9, I got to give you a huge salute, man. Much love and appreciation always. And I shouldn't be shocked that Jer9 is the first couple of fucking coffees up in this bitch. And then right into Osio Widewood, one of my tried and trues. Osio with a $9.99 says, what up, BC in the amp unit? Osio, come on. You know I got to give you a big swig. Osio Wideman. Yeah, that was a big swig, Osio. Good to see you up in here. Christopher Blackshear's up in here. What up, Christopher? Oh, man, so good to see all my tried and trues, man. Still showing BC that love even after a fucking hour and a half rant. Christopher says, first time in history that a cash-in was done on a mid-card strap. Theory should have never had it to begin with. He wasn't ready for that, nor a world title. Christopher, you could be right, but that's not an excuse. And you know that. I don't think you're saying that like an excuse. Because even you're saying that this, I mean, I can hear the frustration when you say this is the first time that there was a cash-in done on a mid-card strap. But whether people think he should have had it or not, or he was ready for it, or he was going to fail anyway, so you might as well just get it over with, it doesn't make what happened last night correct or right at all. It was a botch to the most amplified of fucking measures, man. That's the problem. See, today you're seeing a lot of fans just kiss up to Triple H and act like nothing big happened. Okay, little bit of a botch. No harm, no foul, though. Let's just be done with it. It's off of them, and let's just reset everything, right? Now Triple H is going to have a new focus. No, this is not how you do business. I expect this from maybe VKM. This was even worse than what I've seen with VKM. And this just shows you just a little bit of how bad Paul Levesque can be. When this dude doesn't even have the time in his day to give the Money in the Bank match concept any love. He trashes it and buries the concept. In the process, he buries Austin Theory. Christopher Blackshear, appreciate it, man. Dante Jaron 23 with a $4.99 coffee. Dante! What's up, brother? The Money in the Bank concept previously was ruined by Otis and Brock winning, and then having Theory cash in on a mid-card title was stupid. Dante, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And I forgot about the Brock shit. And I like Brock. But I was telling you guys about James Ellsworth Carmella, which damaged the concept of Money in the Bank. Then you saw what happened with Otis and Miz. Damaged it even more. Brock, I totally forgot about. Just coming out of nowhere and capturing that shit damages it. And this one was the final nail in the coffin. Because there's no way that if you have a sensible fucking, anything sensible in your dome piece, that you're going to look at Money in the Bank prestigiously anymore. You're always going to have that bad taste in your mouth of what the fuck we just saw last night. Thank you, Paul. Dante Jaron 23. Thank you, brother. William F. caught the stream, or at least a little bit. Hopefully you're still up in here, man. William F. with a $9.99, couple of Starbucks, man. William F. says, just finished my coffee. And have a coffee on me, BC. Reading the chat sounds like the show was beyond bad. Glad I was too busy. William F., you did yourself a favor. Hopefully you just caught the stream. And it was beyond bad. There's people going, this was a decent show. I saw people going, this was actually a good show. The crowd is what made it bad. The crowd did not make it bad. I completely agree. The crowd showed up in their Snuggies, their My Pillows, and their fucking sleepers, right? Their little onesies. In their sleeping bags, in their s'more kits. Absolutely, they did not show up for a wrestling event. They showed up for a sleepover. But you cannot blame the crowd for the shit show we saw last night, where everybody was 50-50 booked, and the tragedy with the U.S. Championship / Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in. Or lack thereof. You cannot blame the crowd for that shit. You cannot blame the crowd for having to put up with a Baron Corbin versus Cedric match. Or Theory versus Benjamin for 90 seconds. Or a 6-man schmaz to start it off. You cannot blame the crowd for having to view a shitty show. I thought it was decent, BC. I didn't think it was bad at all. Okay, then what the fuck you telling me? I don't need to fucking know that. I don't want to know how stupid you fucking are. Fuck, man. I went over the whole thing live. I watched it and knew it was bad. I just went over it live. I knew it was bad. It's even worse reading it. It's even fucking worse reading the shit. William F. Much love and appreciation always. So good to see you up in here, William F. Quincy Gray. Haven't seen Quincy Gray in a minute. What up, Quincy? 5 Spot Coffee. It seems like Triple H is doing the same thing as Tony Khan doing, introducing new wrestlers every week. Quincy Gray, it seems that way because that's what he's doing. The same thing that BC was on Tony Khan's ass for, man. What the fuck are you doing, Tony? You're ruining the roster that you have. You're imploding it because you're adding more and more people onto your boat, and eventually the boat is going to sink. And what's funny is that the father-in-law of Triple H, Paul Levesque, the father-in-law, said that was going to happen. He said maybe Tony will get all the people that we release and they're going to do themselves in, basically. And here's Triple H doing the same thing. I didn't see Candice LeRae last night. I can't even remember what the last thing Candice LeRae even did. Emma, she just lost on her first night back to Ronda Rousey. I can't tell you what the fuck Emma's going to do next. She didn't come back in the right of ways. Nikki Cross came back to the old Nikki, and then she lost her first match back against Bianca. They don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. Austin Theory's just losing on a Monday Night Raw before the holidays to a mid-card title during an open challenge. And everyone's like, I thought it was a good show. Come on, bro. Quincy Gray, Triple H is making the same fucking mistakes that Tony Khan once made. And I say once made because even though he keeps hiring fucking people, it seems like he capped it a little bit than what he was used to doing. Jamal Straken, $4.99. BC, everyone wanted to anoint Triple H as the savior of WWE. But these past few shows have been disappointing. Jamal, I completely agree. Now, people are going to try to fucking combat that. Nuh-uh, man. Triple, give him time. It's only been 4 months. Only been 4 months? All he has done is give some people their name back, hired people that were let go, maybe some matches got a few extra minutes a match. I mean, I saw a bunch of 90-second to 2-minute matches last night. Some matches will get a little extra time, I guess. Some semblance of storylines here and there, and then it just goes off the fucking trail or off the tracks like Miz and Loomis. I'm not seeing that much difference that is making a 3-hour show watchable. But you're exactly right, Jamal. So many people anointed him, and they don't want to come across as idiots. Little do they know, they're coming across more so because they refuse to just be honest with themselves. Triple H did not save shit. And we're about to be on month number 5. And the company is just sinking lower and lower. But let's just blame football. Basically, it's football. They're pulling in 1-5s and 1-6s. They'd be lucky if they hit a 1-7. Even with football, if you talk to people that know numbers and metrics, even in 2022, they should be pulling in 2-3s to 2-5s up front. 2-2 to 2-5, I'll give you. They're nowhere near it, bro. That's not football. Football's denting them because the product sucks so bad. It's the product is so fucking bad, they can only pull in 1-5 to 1-7 tops. And don't be surprised if they start hitting 1-4s consistently soon. Jamal Straken, appreciate it, dude. Enforcer 2K9. Enforcer 2K9's up in here. What up, Enforcer? 2K9. 5-Spot Coffee says that whole end was bad from Seth no-selling the beatdown. Yeah, he just jumped right back. I didn't even think of that, bro. He did no selling because the booking is so fucking stupid that there was about 17 moving parts where none of it made sense, and it was a chain reaction where the segment just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and it was just so far off the rails that no wrestler could put the train back on the tracks. Enforcer 2K says that whole end was bad from Seth no-selling the beatdown and kicking out of everything to Theory no-selling and jumping up at 9 just to lose anyway. Enforcer, the whole thing was a chain reaction into the abyss. It was a vicious cycle into a pit of misery, and then we ended the show. Befuddled more so than I can ever remember in pro wrestling. Enforcer 2K9, no fucking doubt, man. Jamal Straken 199. Jamal says Bray is the only return that's working. Oh, 1,000,000%. And that's because Triple H hasn't had a chance to ruin it yet. They're just letting Bray go out there and do his promos. Uncle Howdy and Bray. And when you just let Bray Wyatt do his thing, you ain't going to fuck it up. Now, when Triple H starts making the calls, then we're going to see what becomes of Bray Wyatt. Because we already know that Vince and Kennedy McMahon fucked his booking up when it came to the matches and had him lose big matches. Randy Orton, Goldberg, Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell to help make that fucking Hell in a Cell concept fucking horrible. So if Triple H is just going to do that, man, Bray Wyatt has to stand his ground. If I'm Bray Wyatt, you might not want to hear this because you're already coming down on Sasha Naomi for walking out. If I'm Bray Wyatt and I know that I should not be fucking losing for a while, and H wants me to immediately lose, I'm out. I'm walking the fuck out of the company. Call me any name in the fucking... I don't give a shit. That has nothing to do with being strong or weak, by the way, which we went over in yesterday's live stream. That has everything to do with knowing your worth, your value, and as an independent contractor, knowing what it means for your future. You know, we let Vince McMahon off the hook every time he releases people because they were contracted and he has every right to do it. But when a wrestler wants to walk away, oh no, you remain in prison. It's bullshit. Bray Wyatt has to monitor every part of his booking, now more than ever with Paul Levesque. Jamal Straken, no doubt. Sean Cena 999, couple of coffees over to BC. Sean Cena, I appreciate that, dude. Last week, I listened to someone say that H is getting rid of gimmick pay-per-views. You can do that without screwing over talent and the gimmicks. When I saw that come up on the YouTube, I was beyond pissed. Yeah, I mean, we're hearing that Hell in a Cell might be being taken out, and it'll just be a specialty match. The problem with that is that's already been ruined. You're going to have to work 100 times harder for somebody like BC to ever give a shit about Hell in a Cell ever again. And now they just did that with Money in the Bank. And you're exactly right, Sean Cena. You could have put this back on WrestleMania and stopped it being its own pay-per-view and still not have buried everything in its path last night. There was a million ways you could have taken that briefcase off of Theory that didn't bury everything in the situation, and you damn well know it. So, John Cena, you are exactly right. Godswilla, 2-spot. Godswilla, what's up, man? I'm at a loss for words for what they did to Theory. Godswilla, a couple times in this stream, I literally had no words. And as a podcaster, somebody like BC who has the gift to gab, and I'm always amplified, loss for words is the perfect way to say it. Godswilla. Appreciate it, man. And I'm with you on that. Trust me. Loss for words. Takara Turner, 199. Takara, when they do that, they damage the superstars. Takara Turner knows. Austin Theory, that's going to stick with him his whole career. You know, it's amazing to see some fans go, don't worry, guys, it was just a reset. His character wasn't working. They're just doing something new, and they're just doing it so H can focus on the future. What are you saying? This will never leave his resume. Finkel laces out situation. If you've ever watched Ace Ventura, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to stick with them for the rest of his career. Nothing Austin Theory will ever do will ever shake it. Can he try to rectify and do a lot of great things in his career? Yes, and hopefully he does. This will never shake him. This will always be a blunder on his career. This will always be that black cloud. And it didn't need to happen. And you didn't have to take a giant shit on the concept of Money in the Bank. An open challenge where the bell never rang for anybody. He just had to say, I'm accepting the open challenge. Instead, he cashes in on an open challenge, and the title isn't even a world title. It's a mid-card U.S. title that he's already held in the past. Nobody is calling this out. I'm the only fucking podcaster to be this fucking extremely amplified. So be it. I don't need anybody to fucking agree with me in the community. Fuck them all. If they want to lie, if they want to try to get jobs with World Wrestling Entertainment, if they want to fucking stroke the fucking ego, the nose, and the cock of Triple H, let them do it. This is fucking bullshit. Takara Turner, you are correct. 1,000,000,000%. Jane Donnelly, 449. What up, Jane? Good to see Jane Donnelly up in here. The bar with Vince's booking was so low, it was a tripping hazard in hell. And yet somehow here we are limbo dancing with the devil with H's booking. Shake my damn head. I love the Jane Donnelly. I got to repeat that. That is brilliantly put. The bar with Vince's booking was so low, it was a tripping hazard in hell. And yet somehow here we are limbo dancing with the devil with H's booking. Shake my damn head. Jane Donnelly. That's all I got to say about that. I had to repeat it twice. It was so fucking beautifully, eloquently put. With 10 fucking exclamation points. Salute. Isakar, 199. Salute, BC. ATP, where does Theory go from here? At this point, where does Theory go from here? First of all, Isakar, what's up? Salute. Thank you for the coffee, dude. Where does Theory go from here? I don't know. I mean, right now, somebody had to... But basically, what happened last night is the equivalent to Triple H placing this guy... Excuse me, I'm getting fucking choked up. Placing this guy, into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and he didn't give him a paddleboard. He didn't give him any duck floaties. He just placed this human being in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and then took off in a speedboat while screaming, "Good luck, kid! The shore is that way." And now we just got to see if Austin Theory can swim back to shore. I mean, there's no other way I can spit it to you as truthfully as that is. That's the equivalent to dropping this poor young man into the Atlantic Ocean with no floating devices and saying, "Best of luck, shore's that way, but me and the speedboat are going this way." Austin Theory, no matter how you feel about him, he did not deserve that, guys. What happened last night is so hard to take in if you're BC, and you really appreciate these characters, these wrestlers, their careers, and you know how the booking matters so much for their futures. This kid did not deserve it. And what JR9 told me earlier, JR9, I got to go back to the first super chat of the day. JR9 says in his research, JR9 Gaming says that Theory is 5 of 32 under Triple H, only 16%. That's not rectifying Vince McMahon's wrongs. That is burying a talent, guys. If you ever wondered what the definition of burying a talent is, it's having them wrestle 32 matches and win only 5. It's having somebody at a 16% winning percentage. It's doing somebody so dirty that they looked like the clown that they looked like last night. An open challenge for a mid-card title, and this fucking idiot cashes in during an open challenge for the mid-card title. That is doing somebody so filthy. Paul Levesque, I will never not hold him accountable for this type of a botch. Isakar, we just hope he can swim back to shore. That's where I see Theory next, hoping he can get back to shore. And if he ever gets back to shore, he needs to pedigree Triple H backstage. Right through fucking Gorilla's desk. Right in Gorilla. Take this dude out. For that fucking booking blunder. That botch of amplified epic proportions. Ashley Steggles, $8.99. What up, Ashley? BC, I feel sorry for you and everyone else who watched last night because that was a full-blown VKM level of booking that should not have happened. Ashley, I use the word unacceptable. It was unacceptable to the highest of measures. And somehow, Paul Levesque said, nope, we're going to do it. Lost for words. I think God Swilla said it best. God Swilla in a super chat just a few coffees ago said lost for words. BC's been at a loss for words several times in this stream. I can't even fathom what Paul Levesque did last night. I cannot. That's not being over dramatic. That is not over embellishing. That is. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I witnessed it. And I've seen a lot of stupid shit in WWE over the last 10 years under Vince McMahon. I can't remember anything to the level of that. Just that poorly booked. It just seemed like somebody that was just out to sabotage, and he did not give a fuck what got ruined in the process. Ashley Steggles. Good seeing you up in here, man, always. Jer9's back up. Jer9 Gaming with another 5-spot call. He says Triple H's 50-50 booking ruined NXT from 2019 to 2021 and is why 2.0 was needed. HBK was way better as a booker as he invests in talent and creates actual characters. Jer9 Gaming, thank you. And I appreciate that. And again, this is Jer9, my right-hand man on the channel, actually doing the research. This isn't just our opinions, guys. Jer9 is breaking down the numbers and the statistics. And by the way, Jer9 knows his NXT. Whenever I have a question of NXT, I go to Jer9. And he's going to echo exactly what I told you. 2.0 was formed because the USA Network and Vince McMahon felt they had nothing else to... They felt they were either going to have to close up NXT or try to revive it because Triple H ran it into the fucking ground. It wasn't Vince or the USA Network at first. Triple H took Black and Gold and ran it into the ground. And Tony Khan beat the fuck out of him. That's what happened. We seem to forget that because we want to play to the illusion that Paul Levesque is so amazing because for a few years, he gave us the original Black and Gold. And then he took that Black and Gold and ran it into the ground. Thank you, Jer9 Gaming. You are exactly fucking correct, man. Iman Perry. $4.99. Iman knows what's up. Good to see you up in here, Iman. This also made Lashley look like a fool. Theory popped up right after the Hurt Lock. After Lesnar sold the Hurt Lock at Crown Jewel. Shake my head. Iman, you're right, man. You know, I got so many other things that I have to call out under Paul Levesque's booking blunders and fucking catastrophes. You guys, my amp unit, like people like Iman Perry, have to call out so many other things that I haven't even spent a minute on. I mean, Lashley just looked like a fucking bozo in there to the highest of measures. First, he takes out Rollins and then he walks away. Dude, you could easily get a championship. What are you doing? And then Austin Theory pops up because they're running out of time because Triple H sucks at time management. So they're like, we got to hurry up, man. Make him go to 9 and just pop up. And so Theory gets back up. Hurt Lock is irrelevant at that point. Iman, I didn't even think of that, bro. You're exactly fucking right. Ashley Steggles, another 449, says, can't blame the man with 3 H's because it's Bruce's fault, damn it. Yeah. Ashley, I'm surprised we're not doing that yet. Give it time. It's going to get bad enough where even the people that are sucking the fucking cock of Triple H are going to eventually say this is horrible, but they still will not, they won't blame Triple H. They're going to say it's everybody that was used to be under Vince is now under Triple H, and that's why. It's still Vince's people, BC. It's Bruce still, BC. Doesn't matter. The final approval is Paul Levesque from his words. He is allowing all of this. This is what we used to say about Vince. I don't give a fuck if he has 9,000 writers. It falls on the shoulders of Paul Levesque. This is what we used to say about Vince. Why are we moving the goalposts? We say it about Tony Khan. Why do we let H off the hook every fucking time? I'm not doing it. Because it's only 4 or 5 months, basically. Just give him more time. No. Just to book people correctly, not 50-50 them? That takes 1 fucking hour on your first day on the job. Ashley Steggles, no doubt. Sheriff Rivers, 6 spot. Sheriff, good to see you up in here, man. Hopefully all is good, man. So the women's War Game match is an extension of Control and Bianca Bliss and Asuka. Control and Bianca Bliss and Asuka's boring feud. And Austin, what the fuck was that? Sheriff Rivers, I spent almost 2 hours on the Austin thing. Nobody knows what the fuck that was, other than Paul Levesque internally sabotaging the company, just like his father-in-law used to do. This is not a reset. Reset your fucking ass somewhere else. This is not a fucking reset. This was a booking blotch to the most amplified of measures. And as far as War Games, yeah, we're just getting the same fucking ladies, man, that we've been seeing for 4 months. Bliss, Alexa, and Bianca versus Damage Control. Nikki Cross, we'll add in somebody else, we'll add in some elements. It's the same fucking ladies, bro. And hopefully, after War Games, we never have to see this schmaz again. Silver Black 31, 5 spots. Silver Black, what's up, man? Cheers to BC going God mode on last night's Raw. Also, did you check the Wyatt 6 logo during Bianca's entrance with Alexa and Asuka? I did see that. I was in the middle of writing something too. I was not happy at that point, so I do have to go back and check it out. But I thought I saw that, and sure enough, people did confirm that afterwards. But I do have to check that out again, man. They're still teasing it. I just hope this leads to the reunion. And this isn't just stringing us along, but they don't have a direction. Because this seems to be Paul Levesque's new MO. You think it's going somewhere, but then you find out quickly the company doesn't even know where this shit's going. As far as me going God mode on last night's Raw during this review, I'm glad you were entertained by BC's review. I'm glad you know that where I'm coming is from a pure place, man. And I just want to see this shit get better. And under Triple H, Paul Levesque, it looks like it's getting worse somehow. Silver Black 31, I appreciate that. Ashley Steggles, another 449. Ashley says, I miss the days when 6'4", 4'5", 5'9", etc. Yeah, gone is that shit. And Ashley, you know, man, you're tried and true. I understand that sports, holidays, things like that, the presidential speeches, it'll dent their rating a little bit, possibly, no doubt. But when you look at the trajectory, no lie, I've already talked to many people that crack numbers. Still, even with Monday Night Football, WWE should be at a 2.2 to a 2.5-ish, anywhere in that spectrum. To be pulling 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7s, that's astronomically bad. And when football or anything is not on, they should be 2.7 to 3.0, even in 2022, with Hulu Plus or Hulu, YouTube clips, cord cutting, all of that. All of the people that are respectable and reputable that crack numbers, we've all came to the same conclusion. Those are the numbers. Why the fuck are they dancing around 1.5s and nobody gives a shit? They're just like, football, basically. Nothing can beat football. They don't want to talk about how the product is just that bad. And under Paul Levesque. Ashley Steggles, no doubt. Christopher Blackshear, 109. Christopher! Jericho should be pissed because H ruined his match. Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. And it's not going to be the last time. I just don't have a good feeling about where this is going. If he's already stressed and making all these booking blunders, I don't see how this is going to get better under Paul Levesque's watch. On Paul Levesque's watch. So Christopher Blackshear, more than just Jericho, but you are correct. John Cena, $4.99 says, on a light note, how is the movie? I believe it was Tyler's bad day. Well, once it's done, you should do a viewing. Much love. Yeah, well, the movie is, it got struck by Cove, the Plandem, and just like everything else with it, it's been put on a massive fucking hold. But eventually, we'll get somewhere. The whole thing has had to be, the whole second half, rewritten, and will have to be redone. And that's if we can get it off the ground in a timely nature. So, yeah, I always said, well, when there's news, you guys will know about it. But, yeah, the last 2 years' events, if we weren't already struggling with it, it totally gave us a knockout punch. But we're slowly getting back up like Rocky Balboa, Tyler's Day 30. Thanks for asking, Sean Cena. Also, man, there was a few more while I was going over all that, a lot more. So, hold on, let me try to get over to it. Oh, damn. Courtney Ward, $1.99. Shirai needs to be solo and be that Joshi badass. Shirai just needs to fucking just find that momentum. I feel that under Paul Levesque right now, people are not seeing the best Io Shirai, Io Sky. And that is criminal because you thought with Paul Levesque, you'd be seeing the best of Io. We're not coming anywhere near close to it. So I absolutely agree. Who was that? Courtney Ward. I completely agree with you. Carlos Ray, 10 spot. BC, thanks for saying it like it really is, my brother. Check you. Salute. Carlos, you can always depend on me. If nobody else in the community, you can always come right here, and I got the facts for you. I'm never going to sugarcoat it, Carlos. For you and everybody else that have supported from nearly day one. I always got you, Carlos. I appreciate the coffees. You know that. But I will always be here to rock that shit truthfully and never sugarcoat it. I don't care who gets pissed off, who calls me an asshole. I don't give a shit. I'm a truthful asshole, damn it. Carlos! More than the coffees, I always tell you this, man. Just so good seeing you up in here, Carlos. And thank you. Salute, Carlos. I'll give you an actual salute. Brand Q featuring Quincy, $9.99. Couple of coffees. Brand Q. Says, so it's Damage Control with Nikki Cross and Charlotte versus Bianca, Asuka, Alexa with Sasha, Naomi at War Games, ? Sasha deserves better if that happens. Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny? If you look at the graphic, it looks like Sasha Naomi, doesn't it? So it looks like that's, Boston, the return. So, I mean, that will absolutely add life to the same 6 ladies that have been wrestling and feuding for the last 4 months, man. We desperately need some life put into this. I think it will deliver. I just hope that after War Games, these 6 ladies can go their separate ways, man. Asuka can go one-on-one with Io in a badass storyline. Alexa and Bray can reunite somehow. And Bianca can start looking and acting like an actual women's champion and not just always in a 6-woman tag. And yeah, Sasha deserves a lot fucking better than a lot of the shit she's had to put up with since she's gotten onto the main roster. Brand Q featuring Quincy. And I can't even say that Triple H is going to do her more right than Vince McMahon at this point. Brand Q featuring Quincy. Appreciate it. Courtney Ward, $4.99 coffee says, and here's another 5 spot for that hard, cold truth opening, which was needed to be said. The more things change, the more things stay the same, sadly. Absolutely, Courtney. We get rid of Vince, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and now we just have his doofus son-in-law, is how Phil Brooks put it. And he said it's still going to be the same because it's going to be taken over by his doofus son-in-law and something with his daughter. You guys always remember the exact quote. I never thought I'd say this, but how right Phil Brooks was. Because it come to find out, Triple H is not any better than Vince. He might actually be worse than VKM. And Courtney Ward, I appreciate the another coffee just for my cold open. That cold open, 37 minutes. 37 minutes was straight from the fucking heart, man. That was everything that needed to be said that this community refused to say in the last 12 hours. Courtney Ward, I appreciate you. Thank you. Big Nang is up in this bitch. 5 spot. Big Nang says, just was about to press the like button. My phone tried to dive through the window to escape. What an act of cowardism. Well, you better get that shit, Big Nang, and smash that up because we are now over 300 on the ups. We are headed toward 400 live. Love seeing that. Big Nang, thank you. Hopefully you got that phone and smashed that shit. Deshaun Sanders, 5-spot coffee, says, what up, BC? Last night's show was bottom barrel lame, and sorry about your Packers versus Detroit. Deshaun, it was worse than bottom of the barrel. Last night's Raw and the decisions that were made are unacceptable to the highest degree and most amplified of measures. Unacceptable. As far as my Packers, they are unacceptable. My Packers fucking suck. I never thought I would see them this bad under Aaron Rodgers. 2-time consecutive MVP. So you don't got to be sorry, Deshaun. The Packers have to be sorry. Much love and respect, man. Deshaun Sanders. Primo Cologne's up in this bitch with an 899. Primo says SmackDown's rating has improved since Triple H took over. However, 18 to 49 is doing worse because under Vince it was around 7 to 800K with 1.3 million people over 50, while now it's 600K but 1.5 million over 50. Yeah, you got to look at too, man. Ever since the investigation for Vince before Triple H took over, SmackDown went up into the upward spiral. They were going uphill. So you can put the fucking respect on Vince, I guess, right? I mean, if you're going to give credit, Vince McMahon is when it started to turn, not H. And then Vince McMahon, don't forget, appeared 2 SmackDowns in a row with they peaked out over 2 fucking 4s. So Vince McMahon, that whole entire month plus, helped to put SmackDown back where it should have been. And ever since, H has been kind of straddling that line, back a little, forward a little, but he's been straddling the line. But yeah, there's no way I'm giving Levesque the credit on that, because watch where it started to do the uptick on that. Primo, that was Vince McMahon, the investigation, and then his cameo appearances. Thank you, Primo Cologne. Deshaun Sanders with another 2 spots says, remember Corbin had a failed cash-in also. Yeah, Deshaun. And who would have thought that Baron Corbin's would have been brilliant booking compared to this? I mean, we shit on that. But compared to what happened last night, we'd be calling that brilliant, Deshaun Sanders. Big Nang 2 spot. Imagine Cody wins the 2023 Rumble and chooses Seth. Oh, Big Nang, right? Big Nang, we laugh, but that's basically what Paul Levesque is telling us. That's where we are in today's WWE. Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble, and he wants the U.S. Championship. Big Nang, don't even put that into the stratosphere, bro. That's too funny. And it's almost fucking nauseating to think about, but that's kind of where we're at. In the near future, don't be surprised if somebody wins the Rumble and wants to bring back the 24/7 title. Big Nang, damn, bro. Prime Killer 5 spot. Maybe Triple H booking gets so bad that this is a way for Vince to come back and be the savior. Vince McMahon and him are fucking having late night fucking beverages, and they're going over this whole internal sabotage plan just to bring back Vince. Prime Killer, I used to just laugh at shit like that, but now I'm just like, I wouldn't put it past these motherfuckers. It's either they're internally sabotaging this shit on purpose, both of them, or they're really this shitty at promoting wrestling in 2022. It's one of the two or both. Prime Killer. So good seeing you up in here, dude. Takara Turner says, he should just challenged Roman and lost. Takara Turner, that's all we're saying. Get creative. If he's going to lose, Roman Reigns, that's fine. You could do it in Saudi. You could do it the next time he's there. Maybe, if not at Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, whatever. And then you set up WrestleMania if you want Money in the Bank there. There's a million ways you could have done this creatively that would have helped Austin Theory save face and not take a giant shit on the Money in the Bank briefcase match itself, the concept. This was done in the worst way imaginable. If I thought of the worst thing imaginable for this Money in the Bank cash-in, this would somehow top it. Takara Turner, absolutely. Takara, appreciate that. Angel Scratch Show, 2 spot. BC Paul's and Bloodline. Oh, the Paul's and Bloodline War Games not happening. Yeah, obviously because Logan Paul is injured, Angel Scratch Show. So there's no way. They wanted to do something it looked like. Maybe they're going to try to get something together. But that doesn't look like it's happening. Now, I always said Roman should wrestle 2 fucking matches. One on WrestleMania night, one on Saturday. WrestleMania night 2 on Sunday. Both titles up for grabs individually. 1 title on Saturday, 1 title on Sunday. I wouldn't be shocked if both titles are going to be in one match, but he does wrestle another match, and it's against the Paul brothers on night 1 of WrestleMania. I wouldn't put it past Paul Levesque at this point to do some batshit stupid shit. Whoo, man. I'm trying to get everybody in. You guys are to another level, man. You guys were just as amplified as BC. Primo Cologne with a 179 says, when do you think Raw third hour will tank below 1 million? At this rate, it's going to be by the end of 2023. I mean, they're already straddling 1.4 and 1.5s. And the third hour drops consistently. At this point, if Triple H keeps this up and you have a sporting event, I wouldn't doubt if they pull a 995 1 week in the third hour. I mean, that's just it's the truth, Primo. There's no other way to say it. I don't want to say that. That just looks to be how that would shake out. I think I got everybody somehow, man. And that just came in time because I got 5% battery left. How fucking crazy is that? I mean, you guys were off the wall amplified today, and I love it, man. I'm so glad for the turnout and for the thousands that are going to catch this afterwards, man. Even though you weren't able to catch this live, I appreciate that you're listening to all of this because you know it has to be said. And I just wish that everybody else was more honest. JR9 Gaming, Osea Weidman, Christopher Blackshear, Dante Jaron 23, William F., Quincy Gray, Jamal Straken, Enforcer 2K9, Sean Cena, Godswilla, Takara Turner, Jane Donnelly, Isakar, Ashley Steggles, Iman Perry, Sheriff Rivers, Silver Black 31, Courtney Ward, Brand Q featuring Quincy, Big Nang, Deshaun Sanders, Primo Cologne, Prime Killa, Angel Scratch Show, and anybody else that I missed on the Super Chats. Thank you so much for the coffees. Never needed, always appreciated. It's the ultimate sign of respect. And it makes the content creator know that they're appreciated. Not that we need the validation, but for you guys to go that extra step is fucking surreal. Carlos Ray, all you guys, man. Those coffee, I can get my own fucking coffee, right? The money, the coffee, it doesn't mean jack shit. It's the fucking act behind it. It's the reason. I can't thank you enough. You know, that's the ultimate sign of respect, man. When BC throws a coffee to somebody, it's my sign of respect to the highest of levels. Appreciate you guys, man. All you guys in the chat, I have low battery. I can't do a roll call, but thank you guys so much for an awesome 2+ hour stream. I hope you understand that I am so fucking harsh. I am so critical. I am such an asshole when it comes to pro wrestling because I love it so much. And I know that it has to be better than this. It has to be. And we have to hold them accountable. BC, Top Guy, saying, so long. Check you. Top Guy, and I'm out.